Morning, Scrubs. It's your boy Carcino here, the sabotaged one. And let's talk about it. Because I feel it needs to be discussed. Charlamagne, who was just basically outed in this interview, like put on blast personally by the person that is been making these accusations about a case he was involved in. She told her story flat out again in an interview, which should be coming out very soon. Now, here's the situation. Star from Star and Buck Wild and the Star Report and Star in the Morning um, got the ball rolling when he decided to interview Jessica Reed about her incident that happened to her over 17 years ago, where she claimed Charlemagne the God attacked, and she actually claims that instead of giving her a drink, like he raped her, rape assault. So, in that nature, these things have happened in light of all of these things here. And if you are truly, someone said that's a bad idea. As you can see, they're fighting and struggling to try to get this going. Ain't nothing wrong with what Dak Prescott said. Not one word. But of course, he will give him donkey of the day because he's into politics. So that's what they do. If you're not towing the line of what they want you to do, then yeah, Charlemagne don't have a mind of his own. So it's obvious. Now, he should interview with Star before if there's ever an interview that's going to be conducted in this Charlemagne debacle that's been happening, he needs to interview with Star. Don't give me Van Jones. I don't want to see no Angela Rye and all these people. Anybody from KK Entertainment, I don't need to see. And we need, see, if you're innocent, clarity is the case. Like he said, R. Kelly sat down on BET. As bad as that interview was, he sat down and did an interview, which means questions was asked. All Charlemagne team keep doing is saying DNA evidence proved I was innocent. No, that's what I'm saying. We don't need the homeboy interview. We need to answer some certain questions. In case you guys haven't noticed, Jessica Reed has an interview, at least a portion of it that is posted. And no one's saying that she's 100% telling the truth or we're believing her side of the story. We're just saying what's actually happening. She has a story out right now, and a video out of her telling some of the incident. It's on Instagram. I guess they got a documentary coming out pretty soon where she's going to be telling more of it, of the full story of what happened. And for the record, those people who don't know what's going on, Charlamagne was not exonerated. Please stop saying he was exonerated by DNA. They said he submitted a blood sample and saliva, but because of no cooperation by the plaintiff, since there was no cooperation by the plaintiff, because she was 15, it was a parent's decision, and they decided not to go. Because it was no participation on their end, that's why a plea deal was negotiated, as the state has already issued that in the statement. The state has already done that. Nobody else.
Sportsbook actually had Rodgers as the slight leader a month ago. Bet 365 now has Brady as the front runner to win his 4th MVP. He's a 4-1 favorite.
Thanks, Cephas. I appreciate that. But this is the type of things I've been talking about when you're dealing with people like Charlamagne. They are opportunists. Van Jones, Van Lathan. I don't know what it is with these vans. Me, I don't like vans. Nah, it's not going to come out of that interview. Star already ethered him today. That guy's done. Now, as far as Star doing the interview, because Star's going to ask the tough question. If you're honestly telling the truth, why would you run from this interview? Why would this interview bother you? This interview should be what you want, because nobody's going to ask the tougher question than the first guy who broke this. Why are you sending lawyers and paperwork through the mail? You should have came out the first day and said, hell no. And I'm going to tell you why. But you know why he's not doing that? And you know why, if he ever do it, it'll be with somebody he's cool with, like Angela. It's because they know they could pull a narrative. The DNA, they did not test for blood. They did not test the saliva. They didn't run any tests. So he wasn't exonerated by DNA. They didn't run any tests. When I went and did the video live and was reading it to you, we're like, how did they conduct this? And the plea deal was only negotiated because of no cooperation by the original party. The party that was complaining did not cooperate with the authorities, and then the mother did not want to subject her daughter, who happened to be the age of 15 years of age. She didn't want to subject her daughter to all of that. So that was the case. Well, if he's falsely accused, then he should easily be able to dispute this, or defute it. The only issue Charlamagne has is the fact that he's spoken on this with DJ Academics. He did his interview talking about it before in the past. So if you did it in the past already, they say they ain't gonna bring the case up no more, or they can't because they already done a plea deal. That's by the state. It has nothing to do with no DNA test proof, nothing. Only thing that they gave him, they told the reason why they can't bring it back to court is because they didn't do it the first time that a plea deal was negotiated. And by the state law, so South Carolina's other states that do it, when they reach a plea deal, you can't bring it back into court. She can go to Supreme Court, and if they can overturn it, then that way it would go in there. But Supreme Court would have to overturn it, and it would have to be some monumental evidence in order to do such a thing. But the problem is this. He should interview with Star. From Star, the Star Report, Star and Buck Wild. He should interview with Star. Star is the guy he needs to interview with. He broke the story. Why not do the interview with Star if you got nothing to hide? If you got nothing to hide, you should have came out and said, hey, here's my lawyers. They're going to tell you what questions we can go through, whatever. It should go through Star. Shouldn't go through anybody else. It's not about helping Star. This is really helping Charlamagne. They don't help Star. Star gonna do what he gonna do anyway. He don't need Charlamagne to be on there. My thing is, why give the interview to somebody like Van Jones on CNN? Why give the interview to Angela Rye when they know they're your buddies? Why get an interview to Van Lathan? They know they're your buddies. Why get this interview to your buddies? This is not a buddy situation. You already gave it to DJ Academics. And because of the things you said in that interview, that's got people shaking their heads because it does not coincide with the actual things that happened in the paperwork. So that means that you were lying. And we can honestly say you were lying because you are on video saying these things that are not in the report, saying they happened. So those are not lies. Those are facts. And now that we have those as facts, we're starting to see like, okay, now you lied. What else are you lying about? Not to say you've never told the truth, or you may be telling the truth about some things here, but there's obviously something not right. Why would you lie in a situation like this? You know, people talk, you know, and when people start lying, that's when you got to start asking questions. This is a case where you need to be as clear as humanly possible. You need to be crystal clear. Because girls are causing fake rape cases all around this nation. And then you got people who are actually attacked. It hurts their case. So this whole thing hurts everybody. By the paperwork, this girl was attacked. There was never any doubt in that. A sexual assault happened to this girl. Now, according to the statements, Charlamagne said it wasn't him. He was not involved, and he may not have been involved. He took a plea deal to distributing liquids or toxins, or whatever you want to call it. He took a plea deal on that. And when he took that plea deal, Done. That's not Drake. You ever heard of the TV show Gotham? That's the Penguin. That's the Riddler. You know Drake on the refrigerator? Mm-hmm. So that's why I say, why not interview with Star? That's where this story broke. That's where it needs to finish. Hmm. Well, Jessica Reed is still coming. Do I think anything's gonna happen? Some things are happening now. I mean, he can keep running from it as much as he can. He tried to hope it was gonna go away. It didn't. Other things continually still coming. So now Jessica Reed has put out an interview on the internet, on Instagram, and she's detailing some more things about what happened. Yeah, she's on a lot of people's pages. So his lawyers are going to be working double and triple time. They're posting that because they're trying to give the false narrative that the DNA, because they know people don't read, so they only go by what they hear. DNA cleared them. When the DNA test says there was no match on the saliva, no match on the blood, because the tests were not run. He submitted, he submitted saliva and blood, but she did not cooperate with the authorities. They moved out of South Carolina because their daughter was traumatized by the event. Got to remember, she was ripping TVs out off the wall. He can hate him all he wants. You don't have to like the person that interviewed you, but this is the person that broke the story. You should go right to him. Bring it right to him. Not about promoting Star. Well, I want to see him do a real interview. Do the interview with Choke No Joke. Sit down with Doggy Diamonds. I don't care if it's MREC TV. Well, no, that might go another way with MREC. I don't want to see him do it with no homeboys. Where they gonna throw a softball. I want to hear the real questions. First question. Why did you lie and say you was 20 years old in the DJ Academics interview when you were clearly 22 years of age? Why you lie and said that you had somebody else buy the liquor when you were old enough to buy it yourself and you did? Right, sit down with Ebro. That's cool. Now, which one you think he don't like more, Ebro or Star? Of course they playing me. Exactly. A 15-year-old getting alcohol. Then he lied and said, "What? I only got a few months." That's another lie. He got 3 years probation. Few months. So if somebody's lying like this in the interview, when it doesn't match the actual paperwork, the reason why they don't want to talk about it is because they know they were lying. He's never addressed none of the lies that he said in the interview and why is it doesn't match the police report that even in his version of what he told the police does not match the DJ Academics interview. He needs to clarify and answer certain questions. And I would demand that if I was HBO. If I was anybody saying we need to do another show with you, I'd be, nah, you got answers. You got to answer some questions. No, he didn't address her. All he said is DNA evidence. Uh, I provided it cleared me, which is a lie. DNA didn't clear you. You were never tried because it was not a cooperation by the witness. You're gonna remember. He's not gonna freshly remember the time that he almost went to jail for rape. You think that's the case? Oh, if I did it, I'm the questions y'all anybody could, cause I'll give him all the questions. I'll be like, look, here are the talk points. There you go. That's exactly what we're gonna talk about. So are you ready? So he can prepare. Talk points are flying out. I give him the talk points, and then we'll go from there. We're gonna hit the button, beep, and there it is. Why he bleached his skin is not even important. He was a chocolate dude when this happened. He was a chocolate milk dud when this happened. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Bridge Boy. I got another video with Floyd coming out. And go in on a little bit of other things we've been talking about. Now, my take is this. I don't want to see anybody from KK Entertainment do the interview with Charlamagne when they're going to ask him softball questions. DNA evidence did not exonerate him. He submitted blood and saliva, blood and saliva that he submitted was not tested on. The girl did not submit anything. She did not cooperate with the investigation. That's how they were able to negotiate a plea deal with Charlamagne, because the person did not complete the investigation. So they negotiated a plea deal with him that he just took probation, 3 years of probation for his part in providing liquor or some type of other substance to this girl that resulted in her being sexually assaulted. So why he said, "Oh, I just had a few months, 3 years." He also says he also says I was never issued a warrant. I went in on my own. I was never issued a warrant. There was a warrant out for him. He was issued a warrant. Police report shows they issued a warrant for Charlamagne. So the series of lies that he told does not coincide. The police report that Joe Button tells us to ignore details things that actually happened by law. She was 15 years of age. She's a child. She wasn't a woman. She was a child. So she's 15. She was traumatized by what happened. Her mom did not want her to subject herself to it. After 17 years, she's finally coming back to the place where it all happened. Now, what's going to come out of it, I don't know. But Charlamagne's lawyer is going to be working overtime. So everybody better get ready. Well, he better get ready. Coming after people on YouTube is not going to help. We're not doing the investigation. But it's his own comments that he made on his podcast, his radio shows, clips on YouTube, is what's bringing all of this to a head. And the fact that TMZ avoided it, everybody's avoiding it and talking about some DNA exonerated, DNA exonerated. Like, can nobody read? It did not. Even the state of South Carolina put out a statement that declared why he got probation. You got a plea deal because the person did not cooperate with authorities. So DNA evidence did not exonerate him. Another lie. Oh, Choke is gonna get sued. The lawyers are getting ready to hit him. Anybody who did that interview with her, they're gonna get some cis and deceased papers. They're coming. So we'll see where it goes. We will see where it goes. But yeah, I got a lot more coming today. So stay tuned.